And Witch, if you haven't seen it, Witch here is Sedgemoor Witch, and this deck has a life gain sub-theme. So we bought both Cleric of Lifespond and Moondancer as things that get counters whenever you gain life. And at the very top end of our curve here, we have honestly the most powerful card in the deck when we played it. Lisette, Dean of the Root here, costs 2 green, and says whenever you put a 1/1 counter, whenever you gain life, you could pay 1 to put a 1 counter. I'm going to move this down to here. On each creature you control, and then they gain Trample. When we have things like Innkeeper and Witch making tokens, or these tokens gaining life when they die, you could frequently trigger this 2 or 3 times in a turn, and this gives you counter. So your whole board builds up permanently bigger in a way that's really impressive. Innkeeper's also incredibly sweet in this deck. Let's get to Lisette ahead of curve. This also works really well with Witch, because you'll like play Innkeeper on 2, and then you'll play Witch on 3 with a mana up still, and you'll get to Malakir Rebirth to protect the Witch removal spell, which is felt strong. Something I've mentioned plenty of times, I think Vanishing Verse is easily the best 2-mana piece of removal in the format, so excited to have a mid-range deck that can play that. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this one and see how it goes. Quintivis, thank you for the 27 months. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Got the mulligan because of this basic forest. There's no white or black land we could keep, but man, it's just too awkward as is. Speaking of awkward as is. Feeling our 3-color mana base a little bit here. I think I'm just gonna Vanishing Verse here. Because with this draw, next turn I can go Cleric into Cleric right away. BT Dubs, I've seen some people commenting they're excited for historic stuff. You want to play in our upcoming Hoaglandia historic tournament that's going to be on August 21st, sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com. I think I want a Conjuring here. I could be right to Pest Summoning too, though. The Conjuring gets us up to a 4/4 next turn guaranteed. Also potentially finds me another payoff in case they have a removal spell for this. I'd have to see what that looks like, Space. I don't know that there's enough slivers and others to really make a 100-card deck for that. We're gonna save this for Dean of the Root here. When you pair Dean with Sam here especially, you really get to pop off. A lot of changelings is an overstatement. The Charger has certainly gained a lot of life. Hopefully these innkeepers will as well. I didn't say a lot of playable changelings. Fair. Touche. Oh man, if these both happen, okay. I mean, that's probably the game, right? Just like add 6 power to the board, thanks. Crunch. Next turn we get to play Dean of the Vein. Yeah, you have some goblins. I have a 6/6. Okay. "43 cards that have Sliver or Changeling in their text box." Yeah, it's probably not enough. Maybe it's close to enough. You have to play every single one of them. Solid start for our Witchy Poo here. This deck's very decent into these creature decks. We struggle a bit against the black control decks. Blood on the snow. But against white aggro, green aggro, things like red aggro, a very, very strong plan. Swamp to Ice Rocks. Now we can save this to make green mana. Well, we got some clerics. Use the life gain deck now, opponent. Good for an untapped land here. I'm gonna get to scry a couple of times, so. We also might just kill them with a bunch of large friends here, so. Might be right to play this out as just a 1/1, honestly. Are you dead yet? I don't think Shadow's Verdict is a card that they'd play. Or lethal attackers. Oh, I guess they gained a little bit of life. Sure. Bold strategy, Cotton. I mean, they were dead even if they didn't attack, right? They had to jump block out of it. You considered making a video tutorial to help newer players with deck building concepts in Historic. All right, I'm gonna let you in on the dirty little secret to getting better at card games. If you have to ask the question, what are deck building basics, you shouldn't be building your own decks. Just like any other thing that you're trying to learn in life, the best way to actually learn it is to start with other people that have come before you and work on and build on the things that they've already done. The best way to get better at deck building is to start with a deck that's already been successful and play it a little bit. And as you play it, ask yourself the question, what problems am I having with this deck? And then think to yourself, what small changes can I make to attempt to solve those problems? To give you a math example, asking for deck building basics is kind of like being like, well, Jeff, how do we start with vector calculus before I finish trigonometry or algebra? It's like, well, you don't start there. You want to start a little bit lower and work your way up. I might keep this. I might keep this. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then I think we go hunt for specimens here and grab the Pest Summoning. And then we'll... Is that good enough? I don't think so. And then next turn we can go Dean of the Root, trigger her, give counters. Okay, so it looks like the opponent's maybe a more aggressive build. Oh, Ranger's class with Realm Eater is really cute. It's a solid synergy there for the opponent. Oh, Treasures trigger that too. Fuck. I think we're dead, huh? Yeah, actually just dead. I get to wipe our board here. Yeah, I guess this is symmetrical. It tags the Ranger class too. I don't know, our hand's just empty at that point. We'll get him in the post-board games when we bring in more removal chat. It'll be fine. How'd the Reanimator deck go? It made me want to take Modern off of my schedule for the week. if we're being completely blunt. If we bottom these, and we keep this to fish up a land, and then if we hit it naturally, we could go this into this. If you like pain and suffering, and you're all here as Magic the Gathering players, so that means you do, I had my most brutal, unlucky game of Magic the Gathering I've had since I've been back playing in January. And the last match of the set that we played this morning in Modern. No, I can't tell you. I want your click on my YouTube video. Thanks for the 14 months, Paulo. No, all the videos get published this afternoon after I'm done streaming for the day. We just auto-bottoing this because it's a non-land, or do we keep it because it triggers Sedgemoor Witch? It might be worth it because it triggers Sedgemoor Witch. Playing some Mardusak here. Nah, there's no point in doing a Meta Monday before. Nobody gives a shit about regular standard. Standard 22 didn't have anyone playing in events, and Historic's about to get a big change. Well, they get to stack a bunch of counters on their double striking here. Maybe I should have left this back to chump block with. Yeah, I think I should have left this back to chump block with. So I don't want to chump with either of these. We're gonna take 14 here down to 3. Then I'm gonna die to these Flame Blade Chargers because I messed up. Yeah, this attack was awful. Oh, they put a counter on there. Oh, that's nice. What's going on, Maddie? You believe it's been 6 years? Hope you're doing alright, old man. Bottom that. I kind of want to just try and spike it at land drop naturally here. Alright. Can we dodge a Goldspan Dragon? We cannot. Standard and Paper started up again. It went from 20 week 1 to 6 the next week to not firing the last 2 weeks. Yep. Yeah, so I'd be plus 12 life this game and have a real shot to run them over if I had kept this back. It was a pretty big mistake. And then we would have gained life, and then the dragon and the eye twitches probably don't kill us that turn, and then we get to get Lisette and probably kill them on the backswing the following turn. I don't think you should think about or worry about best of 3 at all, because you don't know what 20% of that format's going to look like. So unless you're playing this deck in this current format in best of 3, I'd just wait and see. They've spoiled like 3 cards from Innistrad, and they were like all bangers, and like if that sets another Eldraine, this whole format will get turned on its head. How'd the Bard's deck go? It was fine. So, if you haven't followed Magic's recent spoilers, how they do them now is they don't, they typically don't do super long spoiler seasons anymore, so they give us a few card teaser, and then they'll likely push out a bunch all at once here in a little bit. Am I bottoming this? I probably want a 5th land, right? Means I don't have to get environmental science with these, I can get pest tokens. Renin 7 needs some help. Disagree. Renin 7's a planeswalker that comes with a 5/5 that has reach. Card's real good. It comes down and it makes a thing that blocks Goldspan Dragon while still living. I think I need a second verse here. We'll bottom that. I'm gonna just pass here just in case they have something like a flunk. And I want to attack and trade this for flunk. I guess if they had flunked, they would have killed it already, right? It's fine. Didn't matter. They're just blocked and sacked. So next turn, they could have a sweeper. Let's see if they use spot removal this turn. All right, well, no more sweeper next turn. I'm gonna trade Kaya for my Moon Dancer. Deal a Reno.
That was an easy job.
So no blood on the snow to worry about. Could theoretically have a Doomscar or a Shadow's Verdict, but those aren't very common in these snow control decks, so definitely not ones we're thinking about. Unfortunate that the Deans are mono-colored creatures. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the dig for a creature card here, the Basic Conjuring. Grab them for 5. They do have the sweeper next turn. We get to Village Rites. They thankfully only have 3 snow mana at the moment. 4, so they can't bring back Kaya.
Just gotta hunt one more monster. How hard could it be?
They foretold something? It could be Doomscar. It could also be Angels. I'm gonna play out Dean here and get my Sam trigger. See, calling this Sam works on lots of levels because it's a halfling, but I'm also pairing it with Dean, so you get like the Lord of the Rings and Supernatural reference all in one. That's perfect. Are my friends dead? Or you just have some angels? Alright, so it's not a sweeper.
Be a nice break from Ravnica.
Ooh, it could be Poison the Cup. It could be Poison the Cup. Yeah, good call. You know, I think this is the first time I've ever missed with that card in this deck.
Envy the strong, I will cull the weak.
Should we have played the Pest Summoning to have 9 on board? It's much worse against the Sweeper. Now I'm all in, though. Ship it. Excuse me?
And I, the generous one.
Alright. They get 2 shots at a Sweeper chip.
My will cannot be denied.
This is the place. I've only played 1 Sweeper this game, right? Oh, they haven't played any? Haven't played any Sweepers this game. Yikes. Really high chance they find one on the Stone X turn.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Yeah, our lack of, honestly, that's the biggest cost of this 3-color deck, is there's no creature lands. Because you just can't play the basics. Yeah, we're just at this point, like I said, this matchup is very polarizing for us. We would normally play discard spells to have a better chance into a matchup like this out of the sideboard, but if you put discard spells in your main deck in best of 1, you're just going to lose to every aggro deck, and there's way more aggro deck than control. So sometimes our aggressive draws can get under them, but the games they find their Sweepers, you generally brick off and die. Okay. Please be playing a creature deck. It's not a snowland. That could be the thing I asked for. That could also be a Doomscar, though. Get our scry on. Scry me a river, Tiny Dancer. It's probably a Doomscar. Yeah. Based on how the rest of Magic has gone today, that's a Doomscar. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. I think I'm saving the Witch for Post Sweeper. We have lethal this turn? No? I think I'm like looking for another... Oh, that's actually great. That paired with Witch post Sweeper sounds good. Please concede. It's about to get, like, unsummoned here or something silly. That's fine. I could technically make myself sacrifice to deny them the learn, but the learn doesn't really matter here. Alright, and then with Rebirth, they should be dead now, right? They did get Mascot Exhibition. They could have Negate plus a Doomscar here. Arena doesn't let me see what their foretold cards were. Yep. Black, white, green. We'll go this into this. Start getting our scries on with the Tiny Dancer. Ooh, some black aggro out of the opponent. Black-red aggro. Looks sweet. Oh, could be Berserkers. Yeah, I'm down for the Dean. Triple D, thanks for the follow. If you don't click through the screen, you can go back and look. Oh, you can. There's a view battlefield up top at the end. That's good to know. Thanks for the follow, Unlikely End. Good morning. Thanks everybody for bringing out, by the way. It's great to see over 1,000 people in here for some magic. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. We do a ton of constructed Magic the Gathering. We're playing some Standard 22 today, but I'm looking forward to diving into some Historic and Historic Brawl later this week. We also do a scotch of stuff on Magic Online as well. I've been doing some Modern and Pioneer there. Usually we play 2 or 3 different decks per day, and everything that I stream that's worthwhile gets cut up deck by deck and I uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for sweet things that are a little bit off the beaten path, there's a bunch of playlists there full of reasonable stuff. This hand obviously needs a green source. We have a roundabout way for Hunt for Specimens. I think this is definitely worth the keep, though, because if we hit the green source here in our next draw, like Cleric into Tiny Dancer is very good. Thanks for the follow, Tommy. Alright, so we're definitely hunting for Specimens and grabbing this. And I think I just want to hold up Village Rites here, because we can sack this after we block with it next turn to power this up. Thank you, lovely wife. I appreciate you. You brought me 2 mayo packets? Yeah, I probably need 2 mayo packets. I'm fat.
That I'm not new here.
You're not new here. And now the question, do I trade the Cleric for their Werewolf Pack Leader? I think the answer is no, because it's going to be able to outsize this in the long run, but they are going to get to draw a card with this next turn now. I think it's worth drawing a couple of cards here. And then this will get up to 4 next turn when we play Tiny Dancer. I was very un-American yesterday, and I did not finish the sandwich that I got for dinner, so have some leftovers for this afternoon. Palsy Pond, thanks for the follow. And for those of you that aren't American, and you've wondered to yourself, what are American portion sizes like? I'm gonna hold up a sandwich, and this sandwich is approximately 30 to 40% of what the original sandwich was. Like, it's 40% of my sandwich thereabouts from last night. My head for perspective. Alright, so we drew a Prosperous Innkeeper. That's pretty good. I think we're still on just Sciences into Tiny Dancer, because I didn't draw a green source. No, it's longer than a foot. This is more than 6 inches. Not Jimmy John's. It's from a small family-owned place called Avanti's that exists here in Central Illinois. I think I'm going to be greedy and bottom this, because my second green can come from the Innkeeper's Treasure token for Dean here. I think I take this trade here. This block goes really sideways if they have Inscription of Abundance, but if they just activate this and trade and don't do anything else this turn, I think that's a huge W for us. Affinity to Squirtle, thanks for the follow. You have a Pokemon username. Have you been playing Pokemon Unite? So you've been playing a bunch of that on this channel too. Game's been a lot of fun. And super happy with that exchange. We got that out of their hand, and then they want to commit some to the board this turn. Oh, do they have Blizzard Brawl? Oh, they have Inscription here as well. We'll hopefully be getting Squirtle and Unite soon. Fingers crossed. Did I just murder this now? I think I just murdered this now, right? I guess I could just take another hit from this and, like, Professor, and then we Dean next turn, get triggers. Yeah, that's probably better. Could theoretically still verse here, I suppose. So, I think we're actually supposed to... You want a Witch Exile pump? Yeah, it's probably right. Yeah, it's probably right. It could be right to just do this and hold this up, but... Or I get 2 pumps because the Witch comes into play too. Yeah, that's better. What do we exile? I'm not going to exile proactively here, because the way we lose this game is a stray fight spell. This also, if they don't know we have a removal spell, it encourages a bad attack here. It encourages an attack that they don't know is going to be bad. And this game is over. Like I said, this deck has a great creature matchup. You want to beat white and green aggro and play something sweet, this deck's a great choice. You will struggle against the Blood in the Snow control decks, but... Great time here. Cast Overrun. Heads up if you're a headphone user, it's about to get loud. The mana in this deck is actually super consistent because you have the lessons to search for environmental sciences, and you have the Innkeeper to make treasures to fix for you. Furman Arcus, thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. And Ots, thank you. I appreciate the 21 months. The only thing that's a little awkward about the mana is because we're 3 colors, we don't get to play creature lands, which was one of the many reasons why you're bad against the control deck. Do I be greedy and hold this to be a spell? That's probably bad. I have all three of my colors if I play as a land on one. Black, green, white. Should have greeted, chat. Should have greeted. Just as is something that I wish would happen more often in real life. We were punished supremely there for playing conservatively. Grab the basic conjuring. I want to play another green source out. Another white source as well. This will be green. This will be green. This will be white. And yeah, we're gonna want to juke the token here for sure. It's their second time hitting the opponent's deck as a matchup, and it felt pretty hard. Oh man, the shuffler has not done us any favors today. It's been a brutal day for Magic the Gathering. How many creatures are we on? 24. Let's play my favorite game. How unlucky were we? We are 96%. So we've missed on that card twice in a row today. So 0.04 squared. We are 0.1.5% to miss on that card twice in a row. So approximately 1 in 1,000 times we'll miss on that twice in a row. Black, white, green. I'm going to play this on 1, because we can attack with this on 2 to trigger Cleric of Life's Bond. Has Menace, so even if they play a blocker, it gets to get in there at least once. Okay, and then we have Tiny Dancer to follow up now, too. Solid start here for us, even though we're on the draw. They don't have 3 snow lands, so if they have Blizzard Brawl, these would trade. Oh, it doesn't even get the extra attack, actually. Oh, they could attack first and then Blizzard Brawl. No box. Even if they wanted to trade these there, it's still not a great exchange for them because they're behind on board. I'd imagine we're just going to have a runaway at this point, especially with the removal spell in hand. Scry me a river, baby. Bottom that. Looking for creatures to pair with this, I think. Another Scry here when Tiny Dancer triggers. If I want another land, I want it to be a black land, so we'll bottom that. No blocks. Go to 16. Got him. Yeah, this is fine, right? The bottom, Professor, we've got Thing, all of our colors. You said 26 months, pork chop. Afternoon. Alright, so it's worked really well in the rest of this set, so I'm going to take Basic Conjuring here, because I would like to draw a creature. If we miss on this Basic Conjuring for a third time, I'm starting Uncharted 4 early today. So Magic Arena, do you want me to play another hour of Magic? Let's find out. We shall continue. With all this cumulative variance, you're guaranteed to hit something great this time, Big Moon. Gotta be honest, I was rooting for the miss. Good to see the Shuffler still responds to threats. Yep, I tried. Alright, and we drew another Vanishing Verse here against the control deck. I think I'm just gonna not play against the control decks for the rest of this set. I think the matchup's polarized to the point that it's just not fun, and not having sideboards to improve it makes it rough. We did at least hit with our sorcery though. No white. This is an easy mulligan. This isn't amazing, but it's fine. Definitely in the range of keepable. Black, white, green. Braveheart Lion, thanks you're up in the prime for the 20th month. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. I don't think our matchup into this ramp deck is too terrible. They're sweepers. Send stuff back to our hand. Kid Cuzzy. We are getting old. Thanks for the 19 months. The Omen Keel. And that cruise for just 1, huh? So I don't want to attack my 2/2 in, because they'll crew the boat and then run us over. We're at 40! What's going on, Robert? Good afternoon. It is still morning if you're on the left coast. Depends on where you are. I think I want to trade that there. Should probably do some work. I won't tell if you won't. Well, chat, another way to look at it is there's the right coast and the wrong coast. I'm squarely in the middle of the country, so you could just consider me an impartial observer in all of these coastal back and forths that you have. We just get rid of the chariot. I think we just get rid of the chariot. The West Coast is on fire because it's lit. Stay safe out there. A lot of environmental stuff going on all over right now. Is it Greece overseas that's currently having a lot of crazy wildfires too? Yeah. I think I'm blocking with this because it puts a counter on my Cleric. Turkey as well. I'm a tempt fate. Annoying. Not the end of the world, though. This also means they're not using the Dryad to find a land this turn, which is great. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Activated my trap card. Basic Conjuring. I'll crank the Cleric up to a 3/3 next turn. The question is, can these Dorkos close out through these cats before they get to some big plays at the top end? This lets me scry. And the problem with taking Dean here is I don't have any consistent ways to gain life at the moment. I guess this technically triggers this. So we'll keep it. This board stall definitely favors my opponent, though, because they've got things like Coma and the Giant that bounces everything to my hand in their deck. I think next turn we probably drop this and then swing for the fences. So I'll have 2 4/4s. Yeah, Professor sounds lovely. Another Cleric to trigger the life spawns. Now, if they have untapped land, no, they don't even need untapped land. Save the forest in place for the Urge Seekers. They could play the wizard next turn, so definitely want to attack with everything here because they could threaten to bounce my board. And it is going to be a little bit awkward that if they do have the thing to bounce my board, I only have 1 white source. If they bounce us, this is probably going to grab Environmental Sciences to fish up on other planes. Yeah, I bet my board's coming back to my hand next turn. Interesting. Hopefully it's just Mascot Exhibition. Suppose they need a land here to do that.
I'll learn much from your fate. I am never defenseless.
Okay, make some large friends, Chip. Yeah, without a Lisette in sight, probably have a hard time pushing through here. And honestly, even if we had Lisette, we have a hard time gaining life to trigger her. We don't have an Innkeeper in play at the moment.
Ah, my faithful hound.
I have pests to block these dogs for a little bit, so they can't really close out on us either. So we got that going for us. Rid of a bit of a board stall here. They attack, I just chump block, and then my clerics get bigger. I think I'd rather chump with this than try and double block. If I double block and they have a bounce spell, I get pretty savaged. I didn't, Braveheart. I haven't been. Pokemon Unite's like dominated my non-streaming time. And it rained most of the weekend, so I didn't get out to walking around. Huh. If I take this... And then... Huh. If I just ship all of these here. We're definitely behind. But I don't think we're just dead.
I chose to leave.
Decent series of draws on our side could pull us through for sure. Find another tiny dancer, for example. And this lost their source of card advantage. If they play stuff out, the dog gets smaller. Yeah, it's like suddenly I'm in an okay spot. Is their Cosmina's gonna come in and draw them some cards here? Thanks for the quarter of a year, Garcia. Welcome back. Am I willing to trade this for a land? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 mana anyways. I think the answer is no. I think we just crack them for 7 here. Probably just eats the Innkeeper, I imagine. The 2/2 because I want to gain life with this. That makes sense. Dragacy Gaming, thanks for the follow. Honestly, one of our better draws at this point is probably our what's it called card, the Pest Summoning. Let's go super wide. All right, I mean, that might even be better because it makes my clerics bigger here. Just chilling. They exiled her. Okay. Another large threat. I guess they have the creature lands hiding out in their mana base. I don't know. You figure it out. Probably want to save this Vanishing Verse for the turn they activate their creature land or their Cosmina. Dragacy Gaming, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people. You can ship those Bezo bucks to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending them this way this month. We can't save the Witch. The 4/4 is double colored. Yeah, these are multicolored too. Sedge. I think that was a decent exchange for us.
You're wasting your time if you think you heal.
Alright. I mean, we take those. Well, I mean, they're dead to the card in our hand. That's different than being dead on board. Yeah, blockers are only checked if they're legal when you declare them. So if blockers would become illegal after blocks have been declared, they're still blocked. It's just like if you kill a creature after it blocks you, like you still don't get through unless you had trample. Ooh. Oh no, wait, wait. Look at that, chat. I'm only missing 3 cards in Adventure for Forgotten Realms. 1,041 out of 1,100 out of 1,044. Getting close. Getting close. I believe that's my 4th Desert Doom, so there's 3 mythics left I still don't have. It's my vault progress. 306% currently. How am I tracking what I'm missing? Untapped.gg. In addition to being the best Twitch extension for Magic Arena on the market, also has a desktop application that does lots of good collection tracking stuff. Manolia, thanks for the follow. So my mana's a touch awkward here because of tapped lands, but if I find an untapped black source in 2 draws, this hand's just one of our better ones. Cleric into Tiny Dancer is quite good. Okay. No, don't drink the cup. Oh, good. Look at that. He listened, Chad. He didn't drink the cup. You love to see it. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, there's no dupe protection for commons and uncommons. Just a healthy dose of get fucked. Is it crazy to just pass here? I'm gonna pass. I want to get like Shadow's Verdicted or run into a counterspell. Maybe this is wrong. It's a little on the aggressive side, but denies them the ability to learn. Hey, do you have the sweeper? I've done Rebirth and Village Rites. Yes, you're right, I could have. That would have been worse into another removal spell, though. They had black-green up, and, like, they had 2 Foretell cards, so if they had something like Poison the Cup, I could get blown out. You could also maybe say, though, if they had a removal spell, they probably would have let on that. Yeah, I think you're right that the rights plus whatever seems good. No, yeah, it definitely does. The what's it called doesn't care how your thing dies. It just says if it would die, bring it back. This is fine. So we were actually looking at that earlier today. If you click this link, I believe it shows you my full collection. You'll see I'm missing a few cards from a couple of the historic sets, which is what I plan to buy to flesh out my collection. For wild cards for the upcoming set. I loaded up $300 into the slot machine yesterday, so we could have plenty of wild cards for Jumpstart. Say blue-green land, could be blue-green, could be Teamer. Oh, they're having a party. Okay. Going on, party people. We don't have mana here currently, but if they don't have a way to kill this here, or this, I suppose, we'll be in a very good spot next turn when the set starts popping off. Do I want to trade this for this and put a counter on everything? Nah. Nah, let's just pass. Let's just pass. And then next turn, we'll drop this and then make everything into the big Mamma Jammas. Yep. I almost played this deck today, too. This deck was kind of sweet. Played the opponent's archetype before. Mush. So, final chapter on this. Can potentially let them kill my Lisette next turn, but not before we crunch for 19 here. And remember, these are all counters on here, right? So these are going to lose the trample at end of turn, but they stay Xbox huge. Okay, we got some blockers. Play this, gain some life, trigger the Cleric. Just keep smashing, smashing, smashing. Just keep smashing. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah, jump the Innkeeper here too. Guess they could Archpriest plus token to kill an Innkeeper. Yeah, so they're going to 1 and losing almost their entire board. So we got 3 lethal threats, including a menace one here. Sitting pretty good. Lisette is just so powerful when she pops off. Just permanent buff is so strong. Your feedback matters. They really listen and care, chat. They like that we're smiling when we play Magic. So, I know it seems kind of silly to, like, take in data from people that are winning, but I've definitely had Magic formats where I've won games and I just, like, didn't really enjoy it. So I do think it's an important metric to measure. Like, in my opinion, the #1 sign that a format is good is when I can lose games and still have fun. And conversely, the #1 sign that a format is terrible is if you can win games and still not really be enjoying it. Yeah, not only is Historic about to get a big change, but, like, once Historic gets that change, I'm not going to want to play Standard 22, so I wanted to Standard 22 today, so that way I can focus on Historic and Brawl, but still get a little bit more of this in. Thursday and Friday are going to be 6 to 8 hours of Arena each, and they're all going to be Historic and Historic Brawl. I only have 2 deck submissions for Historic Horizon stuff. I think Slivers and Zombies are the ones we have at the moment that have been submitted. So unfortunately that's tapped. Is this an Environmental Sciences or a Pest Summoning? It's probably Pest Summoning. That with Witch is going to buy us a lot of time. I have this to fish up another one too. Sir Bobby Jones, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to the channel this morning. It's a big unfortunate there on the Skyclave. Probably not going to be able to recover here. This was a game where if we'd been on the play, we might have been okay, but on the draw, our mana's just been too awkward. Had we been on the play and been able to get this down. I have not, Breezy. Am I dead if I don't block? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Looks like it. Vesper Lark plus Ephemerate. Sure thing, Navier. You want both of those together in the same deck? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll trade here. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. Yeah. I'm so fine. We'll get them on the play in the poach board game, and then hopefully they just won't have as strong of a draw for game 3 when they're on the play. I'm watching for a while and decided to sub for awesome content and the awesome person behind it. Well, thank you. Good to see you in chat. And thanks for watching all the while. I think this is fine, even if we brick off on the third land. Professor fishes it up for us slowly. I think I am going to be greedy and probably lead on Life Spawn, even if we don't have a third land in sight, just because this will give us a 3/3 to attack with on the third turn. Huh. Into Fjord on 1. Would I rather Professor? I think so. There's a good chance if I just, like, play this out, it just, like, eats a Frostbite. What's going on, Team Master 8? Thanks for 26 months. Nice. Okay, so... grab a swamp here. Oh, fuck me, auto tapper. Oh, I mean, I guess we do this now, but now I don't have second green. Yeah, I should have tapped the white. The person asking, is this the same deck we just faced? This format is best of one only, though we'll get them in the post-board games as a joke. Just for clarity's sake. Alright, and now we're in a decent spot, he says, before he gets counterspelled, and then his opponent takes 2 extra turns with Aldrin's Epiphany. This is such weird sequencing on this, because, like, it's not like these are lands that we're going to untap. They definitely should have just done this on their turn. Now they give me a window while they're tapped out to do this. Maybe a little bit of a misstep on the opponent's part there. It says instant on the card. It does. It does, in fact. Divide by 0 and dragons is interesting. I've seen a ton of. In that archetype. Please only have this mascot. Don't make birds. Don't do it. God bless us, everyone. I don't know that we can beat that, but we definitely can't beat definitely can't beat, what's it called? So, we're actually better off sacrificing this than this, because this will get replaced by the witch, and we gain one. So it's actually optimal here to sacrifice the pest. Maybe it was right to just get rid of the Goldspan Dragon this turn, instead of going taller with the Tiny Dancer. I could have fumes and then fumed this instead of having this in play. Off of the treasure from the innkeeper. Okay. They didn't have Time Walk last turn. Maybe they don't have it this turn either. I suppose we spew on these scries, but I still get a giant dancer. She's no longer a tiny dancer, chip. Alright. We take those. Deal Reno. Sure. Innkeeper into Dancer's good enough here. Huh. So do we get Witch down first here because it's more resource efficient, or do we get Dancer going because we want to get her larger? I'd probably rather get her bigger first, right? Huh. I think we saved this, right? If that's their play for the turn, their hand must be atrocious, huh? Come on, hit me. No blocks. Do I just, like, juke them now? I think we just juke them now, right? To get the token? There's a small chance we could get another fight spell out of them here, but I like getting in the extra damage with my Tiny Dancer here. Bye, friend. Yeah, this deck, this style of deck, obviously it'll look a little bit different once we get Innistrad cards, but this style of deck is what I'm really looking forward to building in the fall when Standard rotates. I feel like we've been conceding to control decks today on the ladder because you just can't beat them in best of one, but when you have a sideboard, those will be matchups that we could really improve. And I love the playstyle of a deck like this, just like good interaction and like decent threats to also have proactive rundowns on occasion. That was a great draw. This start is so good. Yep. We'll scry into a black source here like a professional, so we can go Witch, hold up Rebirth next turn. I'm down to clown with the Professor. Sounds good. She'll trigger Cleric of Lifespawn next turn, and then she'll fish up an Environmental Sciences for the turn after. Hey, nice, Starry guys. Congrats on hitting Mythic. It's a fast Mythic, too. Barely a week in here. Alright, what do you got, opponent? I think trying to Vanishing Verse this is too aggressive. I think I just let it block. Yeah, I think I'm up for that. Now the real question is, when they go to kill the Professor of Symbology, do I Malakir Rebirth her? I might actually. Would get me another lesson. Would grow Tiny Dancer again. Pegasus, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Interesting. I wonder if they're playing Village Rites on top of Dispute, or if they're playing it instead of. I really like Dispute in their archetype, the one that makes the treasure to ramp up with a little bit. Village Rites, obviously still good as well, though. Pegasus, thank you for the I already looked at that one. That's what I get for clicking on the other panel while I go back and forth. Do you have a way to kill my thing here? They keep mousing over Dancer. Do they have, like, the Dragon Fire plus a Gold Span in hand? Or are they just dead to Dancer and they know it? Bye, friend. Sunset Bleach. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Good morning, good morning. All right, I think I like where we ended up on this one. Like I said, I don't really think there's much you could do to improve this outside of retooling it with a best of 3 format with sideboards. I think like kind of the flex slots, if you're looking to play around with things, are these Village Rites have been a little whatever, the Umbral Jukes have been a little whatever, but I think like these cards I all kind of consider the core of the deck. These are all doing things that you definitely want to be doing. The Lisette really, though, is just like the story of the deck. Her being able to pippity pop off consistently is just so strong, especially with Innkeeper. This card is one that I didn't expect a lot out of during spoiler season, but it just fits into so many different places and does so many things you're interested in doing. It's really fantastic. The little bits of life gain synergize with lots of tiny things here. The treasure tokens, they color fix for you. The big thing that stands out in my mind that's been great too is there's a lot of decks like this where, you know, you don't mind getting to 4 ahead of curve, but you don't need the ramp in the long term, right? Like you're not getting to like 5, 6, and 7 mana spells. So the just one-off ramp from something like this is plenty. It does what you needed to do on the turn you needed to do it, and then the rest of what it does is also reasonable. Never doubt the Innkeepers of Magic, apparently. Yeah, big mood. All right, at any rate, that's going to wrap on Magic Arena for today. Just to highlight my schedule really quick for the regulars or people that are new, because it's a little bit different this week. I am planning to be live every day this week, but we're not going to be doing Arena again till Thursday. So tomorrow, Arena actually has downtime for like 5 hours in here, I believe. So we're going to be doing some deck building with the upcoming Historic Horizons Jumpstart cards for a few hours tomorrow morning after we play some Pioneer on MTGO. Wednesday, we're just going to be doing Moto, and then we're going to be doing Pokemon Unite. Uncharted 4 is our variety game right now, so we're going to be shifting gears into that, as well as doing that on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday and Friday, we're going to be doing nice, long Magic Arena segments to play a bunch of Historic, as well as Historic Brawl. I'm looking forward to playing some 100 card singleton for that. If you got deck ideas for either of those formats, for a donation of $50, I will guaranteed play your deck. If you just have something sweet, tag me in the subs Discord. I'm going to be looking for deck ideas to play even that aren't donations. So again, if you're one of my supporters, just in the Discord server, you got something sweet, feel free to tag me for things I might want to pick over or poke at. This will be our second session of Uncharted 4. So we're about 3 hours in, 2.5 hours in. It is my first playthrough of that game though, so